Hi, I'm the Side Hustle King. Today I'm going to answer the question, should I become VAT registered as a UK Uber driver? Before I answer the question, I'll explain what VAT is and also what the flat rate VAT scheme is. What is VAT? VAT, or value-added tax, is an indirect tax charged on most goods and services in the UK. Usually when you buy a service which is VATable, you will automatically have paid 20% VAT. The underlying principle is that VAT is paid by the end consumer of the product or service. In the case of Uber, this is the rider. VAT is collected by businesses who have registered by HMRC here in the UK. The current VAT threshold in March 2025 is £90,000. If you turn over more than £90,000 in a rolling 12-month period, it is mandatory that you register your business for VAT. If you fail to notify HMRC of your turnover, you may be liable for penalty payment. You can register for VAT voluntarily even if your turnover is below the VAT threshold. VAT is usually collected on a 3-monthly or quarterly basis. Flat rate schemes for small businesses was designed to make administering VAT easier, and that's exactly what it does. The flat rate of VAT for a taxi driver is 10%. This means you charge the end user 20% but only pay HMRC 10% but cannot claim VAT back on any costs. In order to join a flat rate VAT scheme, your business turnover should not exceed £150,000 excluding VAT. As Uber is a side hustle for me, I'm unlikely to ever exceed the VAT threshold of £90,000. So I asked my accountant, would it financially benefit from registering for VAT? This is the answer my accountant gave me.
If you sell to the public, you'll always be worse off being VAT registered, as you have to pass the VAT on to the customer, which means they may not buy your service due to being too expensive, or you need to absorb the VAT yourself, which eats into your profit. If you are doing a business-to-business transaction and the other business is VAT registered, they will normally reclaim the VAT you charge, so being VAT registered is not costing your customer more money. You are a business and Uber is a business, so in theory they should claim your VAT back if they are VAT registered, but you will need to check with Uber if they are VAT registered and how it works. It is possible, though, that you could charge Uber 20% VAT and only pay HMRC 10% VAT, so make an additional 10% profit in your business through being flat rate VAT registered. One thing to bear in mind is we charge £250 for each VAT return, and there are 4 per year, so a total of £1,000. To profit from it, any VAT saving would need to exceed £1,000.
So I visited Uber's Green Light hub in Southampton and asked them would I be paid extra if I was VAT registered. I.e., if I normally was paid £10 for a fare and became VAT registered, would Uber still pay the £10, or would Uber pay the £10 plus 20% VAT, so a total of £12? This is what the Green Light hub said.
Uber cannot provide information on VAT. All we can say is some drivers are VAT registered and some are not.
Uber's response seemed typical of Uber and their poor onboarding service for new drivers, so I left the Green Light hub none the wiser. To answer the question, I needed to do my own research. So what I did is booked a ride and requested an invoice. The invoice confirms that Uber is VAT registered, as it provides a VAT registration number, but does not say how much VAT the rider has paid. The invoice also says this supply falls under the value-added tax, tour operators, Order 1987. This order, also known as TOMS, which means Tour Operators Margin Scheme, means the tour operator, who in this case is Uber, only need to charge VAT on their margin. This means if Uber charge the rider £10 and they pay the driver £8, the VAT is only included in the £2 element, which is their margin. HMRC have been fighting Uber on this point, claiming Uber should pay VAT on the full amount. However, Bolt have successfully won their case against HMRC for using the same TOMS scheme. As Uber are not charging the customer VAT on the driver's element of the fare, it is reasonable to assume that Uber will pay the driver no extra for being VAT registered. If you were to become VAT registered with Uber using a £60,000 turnover as an example, you'd have a VAT bill of £10,000, which you could claim £5,000 flat rate relief on, so you'd be £5,000 worse off. In addition to this, my accountant would charge me £1,000 a year for doing 4 VAT returns. In total, I'd be £6,000 worse off. I cannot see any scenario where it would be beneficial to be VAT registered as an Uber driver. Thanks for watching the video, and hopefully you found this video useful. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. If you've got any suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments. Thanks.